We're good. We're good. We figured it out. Okay. Welcome. Hi. Hey guys. Okay, so if you weren't with us last month, and you're new to this whole like challenge group thing, we recently started doing prep rallies at the beginning of the challenge just as a way to like connect and talk to each other. And I mean, we see each other every day in our news feeds, but there's just something different about actually being live and seeing your face on Zoom. And we also wanted to use it as an opportunity to just go over like what is a challenge group about? What are we expecting from you? What can you expect from us? What kind of be, etc. Everybody. Okay, so all of us are going to talk for just a really short period of time. We're not going to keep you past 8:30 because we have a team call right after this. So I'm going to start just by explaining the points board, which I shared in the group earlier today. Just so you know how that works and what to do with it. So if you haven't seen it yet, make sure that you go in and find it. I'll pin it to the top of the page tonight if I remember. If not, I'll do it tomorrow morning. But it'll always be pinned. And if you don't, or if you're on your phone and you're not sure how to find it, you have to make sure that you click on See Pinned Post. It's not just going to show up automatically for you, but it will always be there. So it's set up with the highest points on the left, the lowest points on the right, and you get to decide what you do. If you want to do all of them, that's awesome. And if you don't want to do all of them, that's okay too. It's totally up to you. But obviously, the more you do, not only the more points you'll get, but the more successful you'll be in the group. And Heather's going to talk about this a little bit more about like what we expect in staying engaged. But I've been a coach for, I don't know, 4.5 years at this point, and I can tell you 100% the people who are engaged, who actually post in the group, who share their sweaty selfies every day, who check in at the end of the day, those are the people who are still with me, who are still, you know, leveling up, as I like to say, like reaching their goals and going beyond that. The people who don't engage, who don't do the point stuff, who kind of just like stay back and observe on the sidelines, they end up falling off because they don't feel like part of the community. And there's magic in the community when you feel like you are part of something bigger, when you feel like you belong to something, you're going to keep showing up because you don't want to lose that. So I personally think that, you know, doing this calendar and following along throughout the month is going to be your best shot at reaching your goals. I'll go over a few that might be a little bit confusing, and then I'm going to pass the torch to Heather, and she can talk to you. So we have on there in the 500 spot, submit your results to the Beachbody Challenge. I don't know if you guys know you can do this, but anytime you complete any program, any Beachbody program, if you submit your before and after photos to the website, you get a free t-shirt. And you also are entered as a chance to win money. I've known 3 people who have won money, and one of our teammates on our bigger team, Tony Phillips, he actually won $25,000 for his transformation. Like, we saw it happen, which is really cool. So make sure you're doing that because it's important. We like free t-shirts, but we also like to celebrate your hard work. So there's join our sneak peek into coaching webinar. We'll talk about this more in the group, but that is on February 21st, and it's an hour long. It's just like this, and it's just us talking about what coaching is and why you might want to consider doing it. The other one that I wanted to talk about, where is it? Oh, the comment on 20 posts and also recognizing somebody for their hard work. They kind of go hand in hand. But as coaches, our job is to just encourage you and to be there for you. And we think that for us, that's amazing accountability. When we know that we have people who are counting on us to like cheer them on, like it helps us stay accountable to our own goals. So we want you to do that too. You know, we're a team, and the group is not just for coaches, it's for all of you. So we want you guys to become friends. You can friend each other outside of this group. You can, you know, help each other, message each other, comment on each other's posts, encourage each other, answer questions if you know the answers. It's not just for the coaches, it's for all of you. So I think really those are the only ones that I thought you might have questions about. But if you guys have any other questions, you can put them in the chat box, or you can comment on the post which will be pinned in the group. Okay, Heather, go ahead.
Okay, so I'm just going to talk real quickly about what we expect from you guys. You'll have to bear with me. I'm losing my voice because it happens 3 times every year as a teacher. But anyway, the expectations that we have of you are pretty simple. We expect that you are engaging in the group, and that means, kind of like Erica said, not just posting, but that you're commenting and supporting everybody else in the group, because that's just kind of what keeps it all going. That you're keeping up with your board, because periodically we're going to ask you to share your board. So whether you screenshot it on your phone and you're checking it off that way, or you've printed it and you're checking it off paper and pencil, however you're doing it, you keep up with those things for yourself. Make sure that if you don't have a lobster, find a lobster, which is just your accountability partner, and really work together. So start a group message thread or something like that to just kind of stay engaged. And we want you engaged just as much tomorrow as we want to see the engagement at the end of the month, because that's when the groups can kind of get quiet, or you have fallen off, or whatever. But really just staying engaged and using the group. So if you're struggling, come to the group and use it. That's what it's for. If you've had a rock star moment and you want to share that, come to the group. That's what it's for. So using the group for all of these different things to just kind of help you through it, and helping other people through the same thing. So not just taking, but also giving that encouragement to others. I think that's it, though.
Thank you. And to build on that a little bit, you know, you can go to like Walmart and buy a DVD like Jillian Michaels. That's actually what I started with. I had like a $7 DVD in my living room, but guess how many times I actually finished that program? 0, because I didn't have a community. I didn't have a group. I didn't have a coach. And this really is like the secret sauce for us, the community and the support. So you really have to use it and take advantage of it. Kelly's next. She's going to talk about Zoom workouts.
Hey. Okay, so we have a Zoom link, just one, but you can log on to the Zoom link just like this. This is a Zoom call. At any time throughout the day, we work out together. So you don't have to work out at the same time as everybody else. We used to have, sometimes we have the times on there, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, whatever. But if you know, at 7:30 you start working out and you want to see if anybody is working out with you, you can just click on the Zoom link and it pops up. It has been a game changer for me. So I was a chronic, I'll do it later workout kind of person. I mean, I always got my workout done, but instead of getting it done at 6 o'clock in the morning like I planned on doing, it was more like 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon, which I hated doing. So these Zoom workouts really, really, really help me stay accountable. I think I might have missed 2 6 o'clock workouts in the last 2 months, which is like huge. I'm not a morning person, even though I get up at 4:45, still not a morning person, but it really sets the tone for my day. If I get up and I know these girls are waiting on me, which technically they're not, they're going to start whether I'm there or not, but it makes me have that push to want to be up and with them. And when the workout gets hard and I look up and I see 7 or 8 other girls struggling or pushing through just like I am, it really, really helps me get over that hump of the hard move or the hard workout that we're doing that day. But it's really awesome. It's really, really nice to see everybody doing it together. So you can click on, like I said, you can go on there anytime. It seems like a lot of people working out, 4, 5, 6, because we have girls that are West Coast, Canada, East Coast. So, whatever time you work out, you can just log right on to Zoom if anybody's there with you. But it's really, really, really been helpful for me to do that every morning. So if that sounds like something you want to try, tomorrow morning we'll be there at 6 o'clock, flu house and all.
Thank you, Kelly. And then Michelle's going to talk to you about resources, Fixate, Beachbody On Demand, things like that.
Okay, hey guys, welcome tonight and into the group for February. We're glad you're here. Yes, I'm going to talk about resources for just a couple minutes. And if you guys have been playing along with the scavenger hunt, you guys are already getting familiar with some of the resources that are available to you. For example, Beachbody On Demand. It's not just about the workouts on Beachbody On Demand. You've got all your program materials, your meal plans, the amazing blog that we had you guys go and find an article that was interesting to you. Search those things out when you have questions, because you might find your answer in there, or you might stumble upon some other things in there that you didn't realize that will help you along in your journey. So it's a great resource for you. If you're struggling with finding something to eat, highly recommend either the Fix8 Cooking Show on Beachbody On Demand, or there's a Fix8 cookbook as well that you can get. I believe, I'm not sure if all the recipes in the cookbook are on the Fix8 Cooking Show. There are some that are the same, but there's definitely more in the cooking show on Beachbody On Demand. So make sure you check that out. I know they have the videos there. There's recipes that you can print out or save on your computer, as well as shopping lists. So don't feel like you have to constantly scroll through and just watch the videos. You can download them to your computer, print them out. I actually have mine printed and in a binder, so then I just mark them as I'm doing my meal planning every week. And that way I know, and I pull them out so I don't have to search for recipes and the instructions every time I start cooking. Another thing that you can do are print out some tracking apps for yourself, or some tracking sheets. Most of the programs have calendars. Make sure, I think most of you guys already saved or printed your calendar out. Post that up. Cross it off at the end of your workout, because there's something that's amazing and special about crossing that off and seeing your hard work at the end of the month. So definitely use that as a resource to help motivate and encourage you to keep going. And finally, with your meal planning or your meal tracking, I don't know if a lot of you guys know, if you're following 21 Day Fix, there is a free app on your phone that is from Beachbody, and it's called 21 Day Fix. And what it is you can download it. I believe it's iOS and Android. And you can tally, you can start marking off as you eat your food. You can track your containers. You can also log your measurements in there and track your weight as well. So you'll have a record going forward of how you're doing in this journey. And really all those things, when you combine them together, will just reinforce all the things that we're hoping that you get out of this. And you'll start seeing results with this. And the more you do, the more you participate, the more connected you'll be, and I have a feeling you're going to do amazing at it. But finally, the last resource that I wanted to touch on, which I think everybody has kind of mentioned already, is you are in this group, you are in a community full of amazing people, coaches, people who have been on this journey for a while. So if you are just starting out, or if you have questions, use each other. We are truly our best resources, guys. Don't be afraid to come in and ask questions, share a victory, share a struggle. Because if you're having a struggle, I guarantee you somebody else is probably having the same struggle as you. And if we can all work together and come up with a solution, you'll be more inclined to stick with it. And I think there's so much power when we all pull together. So definitely rely on each other. If you have any questions about where to find the meal trackers or the tracking apps, just go ahead and either leave them in the comments or in the comment on the recorded video on the page, and we'll get that handed to you or put in the file section if you find it useful. So hopefully that helps.
Thanks, Michelle. Okay, so that's pretty much all we have for you, but I do want to just remind you, you're going to see us coaches post 3 times a day, and each one of us has a day. So like when you see, I'm on Tuesdays, so you'll always see me post on Tuesdays. And in the mornings, you're going to see the workout check-in, which you've already seen this past week. We just want you to check in with your workout there. It just keeps it, like, we used to do them all in the, just post it, and it like flooded, which was great, but then you couldn't find like certain content or questions or things like that. So now we just check in on one post, and it makes us coaches, it makes it easier for us to kind of go through and see who's working out and who's not. And then you're going to see a check-in at the end of the day, just to kind of rate your day. Like, how did you do? How was your nutrition? How was your workout? And did you drink your Shakeology or not? And this is like a self-reflection piece for you. And you know, it's going to be easy for you to do like tomorrow and maybe the next day and the next day, but by week 3, you're going to be like, do I really have to do this again? Yes, you do have to do it again, because that's how we create habits, right? Like when you do these things every single day, it just becomes a habit. You're going to think, oh, I need to check into the group and let them know how I did. And when you reflect on how you did, then you have an opportunity to think, how can I improve tomorrow? And that's when you become intentional about what you're doing, what you're putting in your mouth, and all of that. So it's not about like getting, you know, rating yourself a 10 and everything on day 1. It's about maybe rating yourself a 6 and then thinking like, well, how can I make it a 7 tomorrow? And that's how you make the progress. So we always say like, you know, getting healthy and losing weight, it's like, it's not exciting on day 46. Like everyone's always excited on day 1 and it's easy on day 1, but there's a reason so many people quit. And it's because it's not that exciting. It's about creating habits and doing the things that you know work over and over again. So you have to commit to that and know that like you have to have that discipline towards the end of the group, the same as you have at the beginning of the group, so that you can continue on, create those good habits, and then it just becomes automatic and it's not even, you know, something that you have to think about anymore. And Michelle, I was going to say one more thing, but Michelle kind of already said it, is that like, don't be afraid to ask your coaches or even post in the group if you have a question or a struggle, or if you're like, I'm about to eat this pizza in front of me and I need someone to tell me to stop, post it. Okay. We do that all the time. And just because we have, you know, coach like is part of who we are, that doesn't mean we're perfect. We are far from perfect. We are coaches because we need accountability just as much as you do. So don't be afraid to come to us when you have those struggles. I think that's it. I'm going to wrap it up for you guys. I'm going to post this recording in the team page, or the challenge group tomorrow. So if you hopped on late, you can always go back and watch. And I think that's it. Anyone else? Any other coaches have anything to add? You're good? All right, guys, good night. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow on day 1 in the morning in your check-in. See ya.